Okay. So we were just mentioning that basically the index of this book kind of reads like it's like a David Icke book meets some sort of teen gossip celebrity magazine. It's a very bizarre juxtaposition of topic areas, but this what makes the book unique and special and very good. So, Musical Truth. It's written. It's the kind of book anybody can read, and everybody will learn something. So, for example, a couple of the tidbits that I took away that I had no idea about. Not to mention the whole Paul is dead. Is Paul dead? Um, question. But one is which famous innovative jazz musician had a long term relationship with a Rothschild? And if you, I'll ask these questions and then I'll tell you the answers, right? So that's the first question. Which famous innovative jazz musician, piano player, had a long term relationship with a Rothschild? Another one. Which rapper has released 2 albums on September the 11th? 2 different albums, both released on September the 11th in different years. Um, and then another question: which pop star released a perfume which she said she wanted to include? She wanted to base it on semen and blood, her own blood. That one's probably an easy one to guess, actually. But if you didn't know these things, I'll tell you the it was actually Thelonious Monk who had a long time relationship with a Rothschild. Then Jay-Z, who released 2 different albums on 9/11 in different years. And then it was Lady Gaga who brought out a range of perfume called Fame. And in interviews in the lead up to the release, she was talking about including blood and semen in this perfume so that it would be her blood so you could feel what it's like to have her on your skin. And it could be semen, but only the sort of the way semen is after the act. I can't remember the exact quote, but I was just looking at it, so I'll see if I can find it for you here. And not that you would want to know that. I wanted to extract the sort of feeling and the sense of blood and semen from a molecular structure. You just get the after feeling of sex from the semen, and the blood is sort of primal. And it was taken out of my own blood sample, so it's a sense of having me on your skin. I don't feel. I feel kind of dirty having just read that. It wasn't my plan to read that out to you guys here. I might cut that afterwards. But Lady Gaga did say that, and I didn't know that until I read this book. So massive amounts of little tidbits and facts in here. Another interesting one was that here in the UK, there's a record label called the Round Table Record Label, and it is owned by one Kate Rothschild, which I thought was very interesting. Then there was also a Rockefeller record label, which might be Jay-Z or Kanye West or something. So really, this is a book of these sort of, you might call them coincidences. Some people would call them coincidences. Other people would call them deliberate signs and symbols and hints as to the true reality of what's going on behind the glossy veneer of the pop music industry. So I've marked up a few of these different pages, and I thought I'd just go to some of them now and just tell you again a few of the things that he touches on in this book. And as I've already alluded at, massively wide-ranging things that he's talking about. So this first mark that I've put in is all about the London Olympics in 2012, specifically the opening and closing ceremonies. Now, a lot of what's in this book is he's trying to talk to you about symbolism. So symbolism is a different way of interpreting the things that you see. And symbolism is extremely potent. And if you think of any famous logo that pops into your mind, that's a symbol, and that symbol represents something, and you know it. There's board games about recognizing logos, and young children can recognize lots of corporate logos before they ever learn to even recognize the trees or the animals in the place where they live. So symbols are powerful. And This page I highlighted because you mentioned the Olympic ceremony, which includes such symbols as phoenixes, pyramids, cauldron. There's a giant baby. We've got a rendition of William Blake's Jerusalem. William Blake was a poet. I was just talking about him today. I studied him at university, wrote my dissertation on. The theme from the Exorcist movie, and then also Russell Brand starred in the London 2012 Olympics, playing a character called the Child Catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So that was pretty fascinating. And this all occurred a few weeks before Jimmy Savile was exposed as a serial pedophile. So, as he writes here, lovely family-friendly stuff. So this is what you start to realize as you're reading this book, is that all these household names, pop stars, and events that we witness, they are infused with symbolism, which many of us are not trained to recognize, so we don't consciously notice it's there. But once you begin to notice it and you begin to see it, then it's pretty hard to not notice it. It becomes very apparent that it's very, very prevalent and pervasive. So next tab that I put in here was page 196, where he talks about Operation Paperclip. This stood out to me, and I highlighted it because it's something I hadn't heard of until the last year or two, I think. And Operation Paperclip, if you don't know what that is, look into it. Fascinating story about what happened to, because World War II, we fought the Nazis. We didn't kill all of them. Some of them survived. And Operation Paperclip gives you an insight into what happened. Where did they go? What did they end up doing? It's a very fascinating story there, which I don't know nearly enough about. But okay, let's have another look. What else we got? Sorry for the long exhale there. I'm kind of nervous, but yeah. So this bit I highlighted because this kind of felt like one of the core messages of the book, which was he's talking about symbolism and slavery and free will, and how people who want to turn you into a slave, they how would they go about doing it, and they can only really do it. There's no. Totally, I fucked up there. Let me stop this.